correction. I have, what number is the doxology? Which number, number hymn is the doxology? I forget. What number hymn is the doxology?
Oh, I don't know. What is the doxology?
Yeah,
The
what
number,
number?
what number?
Lisa, Jeff. I know it. I just want to see the music.
Did you find it?
What is it? 381. Ah, right here doing.
We're at 381.
It's just a.
Or is it 90?
No, 381. It doesn't give you the music.
So it may be,
Oh, it's 371. They give you the music.
okay. Thank you.
I think.
Yes, okay.
Are you sure?
Yes. All right.
Welcome all. Thank you for coming and sharing part of your Sunday with us this morning. I want to start by thanking Jenny Mulqueen for being my worship assistant for this service. This is the fourth summer that she and I are doing a service together. The first three were about song as prayer. This one might be thought of as song as wonderment. Thank you also to Dayan for this beautiful music and for Atticus for his technical skills. I understand this is Atticus's last time with us, and Atticus, we will miss you very much.
Thank you, Amy. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, Dayan. I would love to start us off with a little echo singing. So I invite you to stand as you are willing and able and join. You don't even need your hymnal because I'm going to lead you through this, gathered here. So I'm just going to sing a phrase, and then you sing with Amy. Just sing it back to me, and then we'll sing it all together. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour.
Gathered here in one strong body.
Gathered here in one strong body.
Gathered here in the struggle and the power.
Gathered here in the struggle and the power.
Spirit, draw near.
Spirit, draw near.
Yeah, so let's sing that through a couple of times all together.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour.
Gathered here.
Gathered here in one strong
Gathered here in
body.
the struggle.
Gathered here in the struggle and the power.
Spirit, draw near.
Spirit, draw near.
Keep going, yeah, a couple more times.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw
One more time,
near.
like you mean it.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw
So now we're
near.
going to start over here and sing it in a round 2 times through. First, we'll sing it all together one more time, and then we'll break off. And you are all going to follow me, and this side is going to follow Amy. All right, here we go. So it's gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Just say that. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. All right, those are our 4 phrases. Let's sing it through one more time all together.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
My side starts.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near.
Gathered. All right. We are gathered. So welcome everyone to First Parish in Milton. My name is Jenny Mulqueen, and I am the worship associate for today. And the lay leader of today's service is Amy. I think we all pretty much know each other. To anyone here is anyone here for the first time? No? All right. There are orders of, Tony is waving his, or fanning himself with the laminated order of worship back there. And for those of you who are on Zoom, you can use the chat function to let us know if you're having any trouble. And do please, if you haven't already, make sure to silence all of your cell phones. Worship can take place both inside and outside the meeting house. Church projects and activities are listed in the link, which comes out on Thursdays. As you may have picked up on, our lay-led summer services are a little different. So today, Amy already introduced our theme today, sort of carrying over into singing, into worship. And we are excited to explore and gather around mystery today. I invite you now to welcome and greet each other now that we are gathered. So spend a few moments looking at who we're gathered with. And I'm now going to light the chalice, or Amy's going to help. This is our beautiful symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Let it remind us of the warmth of our community and the hope we share that together we can make the world a better place, not just for ourselves, but also for others. Please join me in the call to worship, which is text number 1 on the laminated card in your pew. Come, let us gather to. We gather to celebrate the sacred within and among us. We strive to practice acceptance. Whoops. Okay. Let's start again. Come, let us gather. We gather to celebrate the sacred within and among us. We strive to practice acceptance, forgiveness. Oh, this is wrong, and I'm sorry. It's listed. I thought this sounded really wrong. I actually have it memorized as well. So here we go. One more time. Come, let us gather. We gather to celebrate the sacred within and among us. We come to seek spiritual growth and understanding. We strive to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Together, we work to build a world with justice and compassion. Come, let us gather together. All right. And that is our call to worship. We're going to invite you to join us in 441, which is a reading at the back of the gray hymnal. Which explores what is worship. And I am going to read the non-italicized stanzas, and you respond with the italicized. To worship is to stand in awe under a heaven of stars, before a flower, a leaf in sunlight, or a grain of sand. To worship is to work with dedication and with skill. It is to pause from work and listen to a strain of music. To worship is to sing with the singing beauty of the earth. Worship is a loneliness seeking communion. It is a thirsty land crying out for rain. Worship is the mystery within us, reaching out to the mystery beyond. Now please join us in singing hymn number 2, Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, and you can use your hymnals for this. Please rise as you are willing and able.
I wrote this before the miraculous changes in the political landscape that have occurred over the last 3 weeks, so keep that in mind. Truth be told, I hadn't wanted to do a summer service. I, like so many of us, have been so heavy-hearted about the state of the world these last 8 years. and especially with the election coming up, that I felt like I had nothing to say of any import. Still, being on the worship committee and with open dates to fill, I felt some obligation to step up. I thought, okay, I could try to do a service about finding hope in these challenging times. I could even find a sermon online that's already been written, and I'd just have to deliver someone else's words. After dabbling in that for a few minutes, it didn't feel right because of its lack of authenticity, which is something we've been striving for here. And anyway, there already have been services about this. But my associations to hope led me to think about what has given me hope in my life and how closely linked these things have been to unexpected, wonderful outcomes. Were these outcomes luck, chance, divine intervention, miracles? Is there such a thing as, vaguely put, forces in the universe? Was it, for God's sake, God? As I've been coming to First Parish for over 30 years, many of you may have heard me talk about my lifelong avowed atheism. I grew up in New York with two Jewish parents who had relinquished any connection to organized religion. My mother seemingly contemptuous of it, my father very knowledgeable about it, but as far as I know, not a man of faith. A politically left educator, an activist in his own way. Maybe in today's world you'd call him a humanist, but an atheist and much more concerned about life here on earth. I was taught little about Judaism, though I would say my family absolutely was culturally Jewish. I never thought I was missing anything. In fact, I gave little thought to ideas of God, spirituality, prayer, soul, had no need, wish, or desire to think about this, let alone go to a place of worship. Dale had to drag me here when our kids were 3 and 1. This was in 1992. We came here twice, and I didn't want to return. Why the following September I was willing to come back, I do not know. But since that time, this church has become so central to my life that I would have said you were out of your mind if you were to tell me this would happen. But that's really a story for another reflection. Also, I wish I could ask my parents, long deceased, why they had come to the beliefs they had, beliefs that had shaped my life without me even knowing the basis for them. And it makes me sad that I will never be able to do so. But a non-believer, I've had numerous experiences in my life that have made me ask the question, how did or do these mysterious things happen? It's been said that one should write about what one knows. So here's what I know. Story number 1, work. It was spring, fall 1979. I was a newly minted MSW, having gone to one of the best social work schools in the country and having had 2 internships in the best community mental health centers in Boston. I should have been able to get a job easily, but it was a time when the economy was terrible, and I was limited to where I could apply as I didn't have a car, not much driving experience, having grown up in New York and living on the subways, and had to take the T to whatever interviews I could get. I vividly remember going on many interviews in which the interviewer fanned a stack of resumes in front of me to say that this is the competition, when things were done on paper. I interviewed for jobs I didn't want, took a job that I left within weeks, which would have been unheard of, got rejected from one that I did want, only to learn that a classmate of mine got it. I wouldn't be standing here now if I had, because it was in Providence, Rhode Island. I was so discouraged that an also unemployed school friend and I imagined making T-shirts that said, "What's the point?" And this was in the days before you could just go online and order such a shirt. Not working in the summer had had its fun moments, but by September it wasn't fun anymore. I took temp jobs in which the men in the office said things like, "Dear, could you make me 10 copies?" By then, I felt vengeful, resentful, full of shame, and pretty hopeless. Out of desperation, I applied for and was offered a job in New York, but I wasn't ready to go back. And then my dream job came along. It was to be the social worker in a partial hospitalization program. Dream job because of the opportunity to use my newly acquired skills as a young therapist. But I had to get myself out to Worcester from Somerville. Though not easy, I found a way to do so and had an enjoyable time interviewing with people I really connected with. One of them was a New York Jew. They invited me out for a second interview, were very friendly, and more or less offered me the job. I was so excited, only to receive a standard rejection letter soon after. I was shocked. A sad Christmas came and went, and I took my courage in my hands and called the clinic. I wanted to know why they had changed their mind. Even if it hurt, I figured by then I had nothing to lose by asking for feedback. When I reached the director, she said she knew nothing of this rejection letter, that she had intended to hire me and didn't know why or how it had been sent. She told me to ignore the letter and gave me a start date. Now, I will never know the true story. What I do think is, had I not made that call, I wouldn't be standing here now, and it would have been just as possible for me not to have made it. Story number 2, love. A year and a half into that job at Partial, as we called it, the rehab counselor resigned as he, like myself, found that working under that same director was proving very difficult. The friendly demeanor was not the whole story. The director needed to hire a replacement. It happened that there were 2 male nurses named Dale who were working on a psych unit of UMass Medical Center, one of whom had also just finished a degree in rehabilitation counseling. So a tall, thin, reddish-bearded, and warm Dale arrived with much experience and compassion in working with people who suffered from mental illness and new additional credentials. But on day 2, the director told me in secrecy while we were in the bathroom that she had hired the wrong Dale. This Dale wasn't the one she thought he was, and she regretted hiring him. I'm going to be brief with this story, but out of our challenges with this director, and of course many other factors, grew love and a soon-to-be 40-year marriage. A peculiar sidebar to this is that many years later, I met the director's sister as she lived in Milton, literally walking distance from me. In the interest of time, I'll skip the details of how she and I met, but really, what are the statistical odds of that? By now, I hope you've been musing on such stories in your own lives. My story is not unique, only the details. Dale has a fascinating story about how he met his biological father at the age of 27, but I'll let him tell you it if he wants to. Story number 3, deep friendship. Along the way, I have had numerous other wondrous experiences, but I'm going to fast forward to the present, which is really the inspiration for this service. On a Sunday in October 2021, when we were newly back in person after the long stretch of COVID isolation, Reverend Lisa gave a sermon about the importance of friendship and about the different kinds of friendship. One of the types of friendship, one of the types is a friendship in which you may not have seen the person in 20 years, but when you see them again, it's as if no time had elapsed. My mind flashed immediately to my childhood friend Nikki, who had never left the New York area. Nikki, who I had such powerful feelings about because after many years of being in touch, even if only through birthdays, condolences over the deaths from dementia of our mothers, Christmas cards with our kids' pictures, there had been some sort of rift that I didn't understand, but which caused a lot of pain for me. Nikki, who I could count on my hands the number of times we'd seen each other in our adulthoods, but each time was as Reverend Lisa described. The last time was in 2012. Then, after years of little contact, we spoke a couple of times during COVID, but that was it. So getting back to that service in October 2021, when it was time for the offertory in that service, because we've been doing this online, I picked up my phone to text and saw, with no preamble, no explanation, no text message, a black and white picture of two little girls in winter jackets on our street in Queens, underneath which it said, Circus Day, circa 1960. She had sent this to me minutes after I had just thought of her. I couldn't believe it and quietly started sobbing in the pew. After the service, I called her and left a voicemail telling her this. She texted back that when she heard my voice and the story, she cried. Nikki has always said that our anniversary was Halloween. It would have been 1958 when we were 5. My first memory of her is her skipping down the street, singing a little song, "Come and play with me, we'll have peanuts, popcorn, candy." I think she was lonely, as her two much older brothers were already out of the house. Benny and Jackie, who looked like the brothers on Ozzie and Harriet. Nikki, who was the only person left in my life who had witnessed firsthand my considerable family drama. She has told me many times that when she called my house, she was afraid if my father answered because he'd always ask her math questions. She remembered with me our trips to the library, getting ices for 15 cents, the bus rides to Jamaica, Queens, not the island, where we went shopping in what were discount department stores that no longer exist, thinking we were so cool and grown up, laughing hysterically at these bus stops, making a minor ruckus, our first transistor radios, sleepovers, our love of the Beatles. And boy, did I remember her mother, Sally Katz. So glamorous to my child's eyes with her honey-colored dyed hair and dark lipstick. Her mother, who stocked the refrigerator with cups of Jell-O and chocolate pudding for us. Her mother, who said about one of my first boyfriends, "Well, he's not that good looking, but he'll do in a pinch." We learned much later in life that there was a reason her father was always upstate on business. So she also had family drama. She was truly my first outside of family love, my template for what close relationships are. You know what it feels like to feel this kind of bond, how it makes all the difference in the world. So After that October church service in 2021, Nikki and I set up a date to Zoom. You can imagine my shock when the first thing she said was, "I'm so busy because I'm learning Korean." She went on to say that since the pandemic started, she had watched 140 K-dramas, that she was admittedly utterly obsessed with it, and that she had started taking Korean lessons. I was in total disbelief. You've probably heard me talk about my own obsession with K-dramas and my wish to learn how to sing in Korean, or even heard one or two of the songs. I told her, "You've got to be kidding. I watched them too." You should have heard that first conversation. We'd probably qualify for a diagnosis of hypomania, because we just talked and talked about the series we loved, the actors and actresses, and why we love these shows so much. So began a new chapter in my life. With her encouragement, I too started taking Korean lessons with a young woman who lives in Korea, after thinking at an earlier point that I wouldn't even be able to learn the alphabet. And Nikki and I study together online. There isn't a week that goes by that we aren't talking either about a show or about our own life stories. And now, 올해 10월 친구랑 같이 학교에 갈까요? The literal meaning being, this October, friend together with Korea, I am going. Our fantasy we've talked about for almost 3 years is coming true. 2 weeks touring South Korea. The word for friend in Korean is 친구. We call each other that often. We often marvel about this. How did it happen that totally independently we both developed a passion for the same thing that none of our other friends care much about and don't really want to even hear about, won't watch the shows? How did it happen that at the moment I was thinking about her during that church service, she texted me that picture from so long ago? When we were growing up, we would have called it ESP. Remember that? Extrasensory perception. But I don't remember really wondering what ESP was. I just thought it was funny. I've been thinking about this for some time now. It happens that in Korean culture, the idea of fate is central. Oftentimes in the dramas, there is a first love from way back, and there's a word for that in that culture, chosalang, and some coincidental circumstances that bring people back together after many years. The characters often talk about it as being their fate and don't seem to question it. It's just part of the air they breathe. Nikki, who in her 50s became a yoga teacher, has much more tolerance of this than I do. She's more willing to watch the shows that have ghosts, which is another part of the culture, or time travel. The rational part of me gets annoyed by this, and I'll avoid those series if I know it's going to be a big part of it, but sometimes those elements sneak in, and I just have to go with the idea of the stars being aligned or something like that, and accept it. So I would still call myself an atheist. If I wanted to pray, I wouldn't know what or who to pray to. There have been services in church in which the question has been asked, what are your beliefs about life after death? I have no belief in heaven or hell. Do not expect some glorious reunion when I die. Do not believe that there is some kind of God watching over us. Because if there is, they must be playing some kind of very mean trick for the world to be in the state it's in. But after all my years at First Parish, I would call myself spiritual, if not religious, because I am profoundly moved by the things that make life worth living. Love, friendships, community, work, words, music, the magnificence of the natural world, our church services, to name just a few. These things fill me with awe and give me hope. I cry deeply when moved, and those are the best moments for me. How these unexpected or unexplainable events in my life or anyone's lives have happened, I really don't know, so I'll just call them miracles. The dictionary definition of miracle is 1, an extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs. 2, an extremely outstanding or unusual event, thing, or accomplishment. So maybe sometimes amazing things happen, and I'll never know how or why. I won't really know what to believe about this. It will just be a mystery, and that's all right.
Thank you so much, Amy. It's very moving to hear about these questions. As a humanist hospice chaplain, I am often referred to the atheist patients and families that we have, and we probe these same questions, which are so often shrouded in mystery. But they are the questions that, when answered, like you said, it's the love, it's the community, it's the friendships, it's the mystery of how these chances come together around this community, around Dale, the Dales, and the long friendships that keep reconnecting, right? And so we wanted to have a little bit of time now for you to reflect on your own and go inward on your own mysteries, the incidents of your life that have been maybe by chance, maybe not, but have given your life shape and meaning. So I invite you to turn to hymn number 1003. I have a lot of wrong numbers and words up here, so I'm making sure in your teal hymnal. And you can maybe you would want to keep this out as you're reflecting, because they are such wonderful questions. And Dan, would you be able to play with me while I sing? I'm going to sing one of the phrases, and you can sing it back. And we'll just go through this once, these 4 questions. And then give you a little bit of time to ponder and go in. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Your turn.
Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going?
Where do we come from?
Where do we come from?
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
Where do we come from? Where are we going?
Where do we come from? Where are we going?
So now just some moments of silence and reflection on these 4 questions. So as we come out of this reflection time, we're just going to take two of those questions. We're going to take, where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Well, those are three questions, that first phrase. And then mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. There we go. Okay, so just sing back after me. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do My turn again. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going?
Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going?
Where do we come That's it. Okay. And then the second question, mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
Mystery,
Mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
One more time.
Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
So you're going to be singing that all week, by the way. It really gets in your brain. So this side of the room, we're going to start with that first part, and you guys are going to come in with the mystery part. But let's just get started over here, okay? And then we're going to switch. That's why we were just practicing. So I know I make you repeat things a lot of times, but that's how we get a little bored and we're ready to come out of our music and really ask the question from a deeper place, right? So where do we come from? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we?
Mystery, mystery.
Following.
Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
Now you're
Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
where do we come from?
Mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. It is now time for our offering. We've already offered lots of singing, lots of prayer, lots of worship. Today's offering is dedicated to the services and ministry
of First Parish in Milton, where we are right here. And to give, you can simply text to 617-539-7576 with the amount that you'd like to give. Please join me in the unison dedication. May these gifts be transformed into strength for this faith community, into comfort, food, and shelter for those in need, and may we be transformed by generosity. And now we would like to conclude. We would like to send you off with a blessing that Amy and I have been singing a lot lately, and it's called Amazed by Linda Hirschhorn. And it's sending you off with the hope that we can all hold that mystery and continue to be amazed by it. May I stay amazed for all of my days at all of the ways of the world's turning, amazed at what I've got, not what I've not, all soon forgot. In the world's turning, may I stay amazed for all of my days at all of the ways of the world's turning, amazed at what I've got, not what I've not. All soon forgot, all forgot in the world's turning. Stay amazed, everybody. Go in peace. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.